Captain America Brave New World is probably my least anticipated of the 3 Marvel movies that were set to be released in 2025. There was a lot of supposed drama circling on the internet surrounding behind the scenes just issues and reshoots. So I feel like many Marvel fans were going into this movie cautiously optimistic. And I would go as far as to say, at least from the first reactions, I think this movie is getting more hate than it deserves. It's an entertaining movie through and through, I found at least. Does it have its issues? Yes. What I liked about it is that it continued on with being a political thriller. Just like the other Captain America movies were, this movie continues that trend, if you will. Is it the most thrilling political thriller? No, it's not something that you're going to be on the edge of your seat while watching, but I think it'll keep you entertained like I was throughout the journey. I have to give a lot of props to Anthony Mackie. I think that he is a great leading man. He proved to me that he can carry a movie like this, and I like the new iteration of Captain America. I like that he has wings. It's taking what they set up with Steve Rogers in that iteration, and it does something different with it, and it keeps it fresh. We saw glimpses of that in the TV show, and I thought that they carried it on nicely here. There was an aspect that I think got focused on in the TV show, and it kind of carried on here, regarding Cap not feeling worthy enough, and because he doesn't have the super soldier serum, not being just like a good enough hero. In my opinion, I think it kind of just gets rushed through, and I thought that they could have had more focus on it, and maybe there was more focus on it in another iteration of the movie. From the reshoots, maybe there was more to it there. I think that the movie does feel overstuffed. There is a lot that it tries to balance. I think it does a good enough job for the most part. Other times it feels like, whoa, why are we quickly going over that? Across from Anthony Mackie, you have Harrison Ford, and he just always understands the assignment, and that's no different here. What could have been a role for him to just take the cash and kind of phone in a performance, that's not the case here. He gives it his all, and I just have to give props to him for that. I mean, he's still kicking it in his early 80s and giving great performances. He's like a national treasure, and I want to see more of him. I hope he comes back for another movie. The action is fun. There's some slow-mo. There's a couple times I looked over to my friend and I was like, oh, like that was really cool. And they integrate like aerial sequences with Falcon and Captain America fighting in the air. And yes, it's majority visual effects and green screen. Thought that the green screen can be noticeably bad, especially in the third act towards the very end of the movie. During like the big fight between Mackie and Ford, there's a scene where Mackie's talking to Ford and it looks noticeably bad, and I was kind of cringing. Samuel Stern's character, played by Tim Blake Nelson, I thought that he was an intimidating threat. He wasn't one that was like commanding the screen and I found myself really compelled by, but I saw glimpses of that. I think there's something there, and I'm interested to see what is in store for his character. I hope he just doesn't become some like little side threat. They left room to go deeper with it, and I think it could be something cool. The movie is more of a sequel to The Incredible Hulk than anything else, and I also thought that the post-credit scene felt completely dumb and unnecessary. A perfect example of Marvel just feeling the need to put a post-credit scene just for the hell of it. The MCU does get dunked on for having a lot of humor, sometimes humor that just completely feels out of left field and doesn't feel necessary. There were a couple times in this movie where I was like, you didn't really need to have a quick little quip right there. You didn't need that. Then there are other times where it felt natural. So there was a little bit of force, but majority of it felt natural and it worked. Like I briefly mentioned, for a movie that had a lot of supposed reshoots, we don't know how much of it there was, how little of it there was, what they specifically reworked. No one will ever truly know exactly what happened. But I think that they did a good job of hiding it. What I mean by that is I think that they pieced the story together well. There aren't like chunks of the movie where I felt like, whoa, like what happened there? While yes, I mentioned how some stuff kind of gets tucked into the shadows and just kind of glossed over, I thought the movie flowed well. The story didn't feel too choppy, at least in my opinion. I think you should go into this movie with an open mindset and kind of ignore all the negative buzz surrounding it and just try to see what you think of it. Maybe you do dislike it, or maybe you like it like I did. I think it's an entertaining movie, not a riveting one, not even one that I will find myself maybe having the urge to continue to revisit over the years. From a directorial perspective, I like what Ona did, where he would have these nice close-ups, hiding characters in the shadows, little stuff like that I thought worked. But I found it to be a fun watch. I'm going to give Captain America Brave New World a B-, and I would recommend streaming this one. Don't rush out to the theater unless you're a diehard MCU fan. I think that you can just be fine with streaming it. Be sure to leave your thoughts on the movie in the comments. Did you enjoy it like I did? Did you not? Let me know. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And as always, look forward to more videos coming soon. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.